Okay, we're now going to take a tour of the Android Studio. This area is known as the editor, and we will type our Kotlin code here. A similar editor will be present to type the XML code, but we will look at it in the next topic. So, this is the project structure, and all the files and folders that are present in the project can be seen and accessed from here. So, let's look at them. We will only look at those folders and files that are mostly used and that will be used by us in the training. First is this manifests folder. It is known as the app manifests folder. If we open it, we will see that it contains a single file called the Android manifest.xml. Every Android project must have this file. This file describes all the information about the app to the Android operating system and to Play Store once we upload our app. This file is created on its own by the Android Studio, and we do not need to create it ourselves. And all the required things are also automatically added to it. We can see here that all the things added to this file are in the form of tags. Since it is an XML file, all the data is added to it using tags. Now this XML file starts by telling the compiler that it is going to use XML version 1.0 and the encoding is UTF-8. Now this line will always be present at the start of an XML file in Android Studio. If you see, this file starts with a manifest tag and ends with a manifest closing tag. Since it is the first tag and all tags are defined inside it, it is known as the parent tag, and all other tags that are written inside it are known as child tags. Before we move on, let's revise some concepts about XML. XML is written in the form of tags as we just saw. Tags have attributes that give us information about the tag, and attributes have values that are written in double quotes. For example, these are the attributes of this manifest tag and these are their values. The first attribute in this manifest tag is XML-NS, and it can be broken down to XML and NS, where NS stands for namespace. The value given to this attribute is a URI or Uniform Resource Identifier. The URI is nothing but a location. It tells the compiler that we are going to use the attributes defined at a particular place. This place is called namespace, and its name is Android. It is not important to know this, so even if you don't understand much of it, it's okay. Next attribute here is the package, which has the package name where all our code will be present. If you remember, we had mentioned this package name while creating our Android project. This package name is used to determine the location of all our code when the Android project is being built. After this, we have the application tag. The attributes of this tag will define the properties of the app, like app label, which is the app name, app icon, etc. Now if you see, this application tag closes here, and so this activity tag is the child tag of the application tag. This activity tag declares the main activity that was automatically created by the Android Studio. Remember, whenever we create a new activity, we will have to declare it here using the activity tag in the manifest file. We will learn more about this term activity in the next topic. Now this activity tag has another tag inside it called the intent filter, and it has some actions. So if you see here, one of these actions is main, which can be thought of as the main function we created in Kotlin. This means that this activity will be the entry point to the application. Next is this launcher intent, which means that when the app opens, this particular activity will be displayed to the user. Hence the name launcher. And then finally, all the tags close here. So that was about the manifest folder and its contents. Now let's move to the next folder, which is this Java folder. So this is the directory where all our Kotlin code will be kept. Inside this, we can see 3 folders, all with the same name, but 2 of these 3 are highlighted in green. We will not use the ones highlighted in green, only the non-highlighted ones will be used. We can see that this folder contains the main-activity.kt file. All the new files and packages that we will create to write our Kotlin code will be created inside this file. So remember the location of this file well. Next, we will look at this folder called the res folder. Res stands for resources. So all the resources that will be used for the development of our Android app will be placed inside this folder. Okay, so what do we mean by resources? The resources can be a layout file, an image, app icons, colors, etc. Inside this resources folder is this drawable directory. All the images and the design files used in the application will be placed inside this directory. As of now, there are 2 studio-made files present here. We will not be using them, so you need not worry about them. Second, we have this layout directory inside the resources folder. All the layout files will be placed inside this directory. As of now, activity_main.xml is present here, which is the layout file for the main-activity.kt file. Next, we have this mipmap directory inside the resources folder. This directory will contain the app launcher icon, that is, the icon that will be displayed to the users when the app opens. Right now, this directory has default icons. And last, we have the values directory here. This will contain the values that will be used in our XML files. These values can be strings, colors, or styles that will be used in our Android app. You don't need to worry about this as of now, since we will learn about them later when we work with XML. So we have looked at 3 folders as of now. Click next to look at some more important folders.